Step right up, dummies, and listen to the stupidest sports show on earth with Rodney Newpol and Tim Van Stratton. Yeah.
Hello, dummies, and welcome to episode number 154 of the stupidest sports show on earth. My name, as you all know, is Tim the Gunslinger Van Stratton, joined by Rodney Newpol, who I just saw yesterday. This is the first time in stupid sports show history that we have done a show 2 straight days. I'm feeling the fatigue. I was going into today. I was like, why am I more tired than normal? It's because I put it all out there yesterday. I laid everything on the line for a great show on Wednesday. Yeah. And now we're doing it again on Thursday. So, Rodney, welcome. I'm glad you made it.
I'm also a little fatigued tonight, but U.S. soccer's got me all fired up. They've already scored a goal in the first 2.5 minutes. I think Turkey sucks. And okay,
they suck. They're awful. Awful.
So if you thought my Darren Peterson hot take was scorching hot last night,
mm-hmm.
The United States wins the World Cup. Not just gets to the finals, they win the World Cup.
The fix is in. I actually had a buddy who, after the first matchup, laid out a whole reasoning for, why it would be fixed and just the way that it's lining up for the U.S. to make a run, in their home tournament, all stuff. It is insane how well it is lined up. The group has been an absolute joke. They're going to get Bosnia in the next round. After that, it's going to be Egypt, most likely. I got to pull up to see what the bracket would be. But it's insane how well it's lining up right now for the United States. It's unbelievable.
Hot take. Which take was hotter, last night or tonight?
If you went to DraftKings, so I don't know if you have DraftKings pulled up or if they have live odds, but are there odds right now for which team to win the World Cup? And if so, tell me what the U.S. is at.
You know what they don't have odds for? They do not have odds for Darren Peterson becoming the greatest Utah Jazz player ever.
If they did, I think they would be far longer than the odds currently of the United States winning the World Cup.
Yeah, probably.
I think the U.S. will win 3 World Cups before Darren Peterson is the greatest Utah Jazz who ever lived.
The U.S. is 30-1. They're 9th on the list. France, Spain, Argentina, England, Portugal, Brazil, Germany, and the Netherlands are all ahead of the United States. It's U.S. and Norway rounding out the top 10. So 30-1. Darren Peterson's odds to be the best Jazz player ever, 30-1 or greater?
Far greater. Far 3,000 to 1.
You're hating on my boy Darren, but
you're saying he's going to be better than Karl Malone, better than John Stockton. You basically say that he's going to be a top 30 player in NBA history. Looking back on it, Malone and Stockton are pretty lofty goals. I think I probably could have settled at top 3. I probably could have said top 3 Jazz player. Yeah, because then it's doable. It's Donovan Mitchell, it's Darren Williams, it's Pete Maravich. Hey, all right. Will Darren Peterson? I know we're off topic here. Will Darren Peterson have a better career than Mehmet Okur?
Yeah.
Will he have a better career than Greg Ostertag?
Yeah, he will. And I go back to 12 hours ago when we were texting and you brought up the name Deshaun Stevenson. And I know he's not part of the Utah Jazz, but yes, Darren Peterson will be better than Deshaun Stevenson.
Will he be better? I'm just trying to think of old Utah Jazz from the 2000s. Just someone, if anyone's listening, help me out here. Just those Andre Kirilenko. Everyone knows Andre Kirilenko. Will he be a better Utah Jazz than Andre Kirilenko?
Yes.
Okay. he has to decide that he needs to play games, though, which seemed to be an issue at Kansas. Like, you just would seemingly miss big games. And it's hard to be the greatest of all time at something if you're just going to, like, not play.
Yeah.
So he needs to play.
Well, sorry to bring it up again. We've spent a good 6 minutes already talking nonsense about Darren Peterson, but here we are. So, but let me do this one today. 76 days until the NFL. So we're less than 11 weeks away. And I noticed today that the Seattle Seahawks start camp on July 17th.
Ooh.
That's not very far away. That's 3 weeks
Not far
from
at all.
tomorrow. So we're 3 weeks away from training camp because they play early. Is that right? Because they play the first game, them and somebody else in Australia. Yes, in Australia.
No. Seahawks play the Patriots the first game of the season, and they're the Wednesday, and then it's Rams and Niners who play in Australia on Thursday.
Okay, so Rams and Niners probably will open camp on the 18th. Would be my guess then, because I think they try to do it like 3 weeks ahead of their first game, and that wouldn't be 3 weeks. It would be like 6 weeks ahead. I don't know. Anyways, I saw 17th of July.
Well, there we go. We're coming up very, very close on it. Real quick, thank you to Gateway Sports. We thanked them yesterday, but we're going to thank them again today. Rodney, tell the good people about Gateway Sports.
Yeah, the Gateway Sports. Yeah, though you guys have heard the reads before, but I'm going to do it again because it's worth the time and energy and effort to find out what Gateway Sports is. If you're just now joining the show, if you love sports at every level, there's only one place you need to be. That's Gateway Sports. They cover it all from the preps, college, and the pros. Real coverage, real voices, real passion for the game. Gateway Sports connects the region like nobody else. Proudly powered by First Form and Recalibrate. Visit gatewaysports.net. Every level, one gateway. And once again, our first ever sponsorship of the show, starting July 1st, you can be the second and have your name mentioned and thanked because we are very polite gentlemen, and we will thank you.
Mm-hmm.
You can sponsor our show. Turkey with an opportunity. Turkey a goal!
Their first one of the tournament.
And he took the ball.
Yeah, he did. He
Took the ball away. He scored, it bounced out, and he grabbed it and ran off with it.
Yeah, he did.
That's not good for the Americans. I know the Americans don't care. That's not very good.
No, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. It is purely just for pride at this point for Turkey.
Yeah. Those Turks will be awfully happy. He was wide open. All right, 1-1.
Big moment for the Turks.
Turks.
Big moment for the Turks. But yeah, anyway, that being said, thank you to Gateway Sports. Good play-by-play there. I felt like I was in the stadium watching. Are they at SoFi? Sorry. Are they at Los Angeles Stadium?
Are they at SoFi or Santa Clara's next? They're at SoFi.
Santa Clara's next, yeah. Yeah, I think they went, Los Angeles Stadium, very important.
Yeah.
And then they went to Seattle Stadium, and now they're back at Los Angeles Stadium. I don't want FIFA to get on us. We don't need that. It's too much stress.
No, our PR department would not like human resources and PR would not like the call tomorrow morning from FIFA. You're right.
No. All right, Rodney. Why don't you take us away? You prep the show today like you do on Thursdays. So why don't you take us away here with what we're talking about? What do we got?
All right, so I think the biggest news of the day would probably be what happened this morning, and it is the LaMelo Ball move. And it's interesting because, like, I wouldn't say it came out of nowhere, but it kind of hit pretty quick last night. Like, you threw this across at our group chat. It was after the show last night. So it was 10 o'clock Central Time. You sent there's a lot of hot take, a lot of hotness, a lot of rumors about LaMelo Ball. And by 10 o'clock this morning, he was gone.
Yeah, well, Shams, it was like near the end of the draft. He was like, oh, by the way, teams are inquiring about LaMelo Ball. Keep an eye on it. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. Now, how am I supposed to go to bed knowing this now? And then, early this morning, it sounded like the Teals and the Raptors were the two teams that were very in on him. And then, lo and behold, Minnesota gets it done. The team that could have drafted him first overall back in 2020, instead taking Anthony Edwards.
Do you remember their reasoning why they did not?
I believe it was because LaMelo Ball in the pre-draft interview said that he wanted to be the president
of the United States. Yeah.
Of the whole United States, which honestly, at this point, he probably is qualified for it.
I mean, we're not going to get political on this show, but yeah, I'd probably take him.
Yeah. It's a little young though. A little young. Needs to.
Do you know the word? So we'll dive into the nitty gritty of this trade. But the worst, the thing I'm most concerned about this trade is the roads of Minneapolis in the winter. LaMelo Ball's going to try to drive in the winter roads. No, man. Like somebody needs to like hire that man at Uber during the winter season, because I do not want him driving to Target.
No.
In January.
Man, he's a kid who grew up in Southern California, then played his NBA ball in Charlotte, North Carolina. Now he's going to go to Minnesota. I hope he's ready for those cold ass winters. He did play a year in Lithuania, so maybe he is a little prepared for it, kind of. But yeah, that's going to be quite the adjustment for him. And you're right, the roads between him and Jordan Addison, like the roads in Minnesota, just needs to be. Yeah, keep a couple extra highway cops out there just to make sure everyone.
Anyway, so let's talk a little basketball on this one. Your initial thoughts on LaMelo Ball going from the Hornets to the Timberwolves? I think your words were "hell yeah" this morning, right?
Pretty much like the Melo Anthony Edwards backcourt fires me up. It is so exciting, and one thing that you could say about Minnesota is, they have tried to build their team. They tried to go big. Then, they have they've always been really good at finding these wings. They've been finding good at, defense at the front court. Obviously, Gobert is an interesting fit with Melo now. But the one thing that they've always been missing is a point guard, a true point guard who's going to improve everyone around him. And LaMelo Ball, obviously he scores, takes shots. He's not the most efficient shooter. And we saw a couple of those playing games where he just shot the Hornets out of the game. Mm-hmm. But one thing that he always has is his playmaking ability and the way to elevate his teammates. Con Knippel, your boy, doesn't have the rookie year he has without LaMelo.
Yeah. I'm with you.
Yeah. And on the show, so we're going to talk about the Charlotte here in a second. That's gonna make a big impact for them. But on the Minnesota side, is now you have a true point guard who can take some pressure off of Edwards, who can set Edwards up. I mean, Edwards going to go crazy scoring-wise. I think that everyone in the starting lineup is going to get better as a result of this. And I love that Minnesota has now become a team that goes for it, that makes these bold, aggressive moves, because they see a Western Conference that's had a different champion represented each of the last 8 years. And they're saying, hey, it's been every team except us. This is our time. We got to do something. We just can't build our team to take down Denver. We have to take down everyone in the West. And they got better today, even with subtracting Naz Reid, who I know a lot of T-Wolves fans love, and I think he's a great player. But this is a huge move that still allows them some flexibility to go out and add more pieces to this. But it's an exciting team now, and I'm looking forward to watching a lot of their games this year.
So Minnesota, are they a top 3 in the West? Is it San Antonio, Oklahoma City, Minnesota, and obviously it could be San Antonio or Oklahoma City 1-2, whatever.
I think so. I think so. I would we have a whole offseason to go, but I think Denver's going to end up taking a step back. The Lakers are kind of in that top max out at 3 range.
Yeah.
Minnesota's better than Houston, better than Phoenix, better than and Golden State, all the other teams that are in that mix. I think 3 is Minnesota's probably that next team. You hope that San Antonio or OKC falls off a little bit, and then you make your run. Ant's in his prime, Melo's in his prime, and LaMelo Ball too. It feels like we are forgetting how young he still is. Like LaMelo Ball, he's been in the league a long time. He's only 24 years old still.
Wow. That. I would not have guessed that.
Yeah, he's young. He's very young. So that's also something too, where like Minnesota had an opportunity to get an all-star guard at a young age where he hasn't even hit his prime yet. Pair him with one of the top 10 players in the NBA in Anthony Edwards. You still have Gobert, who that's, I think Gobert is necessary when you go up against Wemby and the Spurs.
Yeah.
I like it a lot. Like, you still have Jaden McDaniels. You re-signed Ayo Dosunmu. Dante DiVincenzo is one of the better six men in the NBA. You just surround them with a couple nice pieces on the bench. And yeah, that's a really good team.
Yeah. No, I like the move as well. Let's move to the other side. The Charlotte Hornets. Now, you mentioned it. LaMelo Ball was what made Con Knuppel obviously have a rookie of the year type season. And obviously it went to Cooper Flag, but rookie of the year type season. What now for Charlotte? I mean, you still got plenty of pieces. They're not done, right? Like, Charlotte's not done. They still got to. I mean, they got a lot of space. So what makes sense for Charlotte?
Yeah, well, so Charlotte gets Naz Reid, who I really like for them. They got a bunch of picks. So the Hornets right now, they have all of their first round picks. They have 4 extra picks, 3 pick swaps. They have the rookie of the year finalists, who in any other year I think would have been the rookie of the year in Con Knuppel.
Yeah.
Brandon Miller is a really good young player who's still improving. They re-signed Kobe White. They're $50 million below the luxury tax right now. There's all this like salary cap stuff, which basically like the trade exception with LaMelo, it's like $40 million, and all that to say, like, they have room to get really aggressive this offseason. And they have all these picks. Like, they're doing something where they're setting themselves up to, maybe the goal this year is, hey, let's get out of the play and let's try to go for 5 or 6 in the East. We still have all these picks, kind of like what OKC's been doing. And you're either you use them to acquire outside talent, or it's you draft them. And I think the Hornets the last couple years under this new front office have been really solid with the young pieces that they've brought in. But I'll say this with Charlotte, like, as much as trading LaMelo Ball after the year they just had was a surprise, because, like, I don't have to tell you, they were a top 5 team in the NBA for like half the year.
Mm-hmm.
By all the metrics, not just record, but like by all the advanced metrics, they were a top 5 team in the NBA. But they probably should get some type of credit for looking at the East and saying, okay, how much better are we going to get as presently constructed right now with Melo, with Con, with Miller, like all the stuff, like what is our ceiling? And if they felt the ceiling all said and done was like 5th in the East, 2nd round team, which is probably where I would have put them as like absolute ceiling for next year, that's not good enough. So I understand make this move. I understand acquiring Naz Reid and getting even more picks and giving yourself a bunch of flexibility moving forward.
Jaylen Brown on the table for Charlotte.
I mean, I threw that out there, and I know that there's going to be a lot of competition. There's one guy, I think he's an anchor in Charlotte, who just like within the hour mentioned that the Hornets are one of the teams that's actively engaged with the Celtics about Jaylen Brown. It could be. I mean, it's hard to think about some of the options. I mentioned Sabonis to you yesterday, and I think I've mentioned it on the show before. Maybe that's off the table now that they got Naz Reid, because I think maybe the emphasis is probably more on like a guard or like a real like scorer on the wing, perhaps. I don't know. What do you think? Does Sabonis? So let's say they trade like Bridges and some of their depth on the bench, and they go Kobe White. How does this sound? Kobe White, Con Knuppel, Brandon Miller, Domantas Sabonis, and then Naz Reid. Because let's say like the Kings would want Diabate back.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
I mean, I mean, yeah, I like that more than your first thought this morning was you probably have to trade Brandon Miller, because your words were that would be a tough pill to swallow, and I think you're 100% right. Like, Brandon Miller
Yeah, well,
is going to be a good player, and will be a good player.
I think at this point, if you are someone put it best, like the Hornets were previously built around Ball and Bridges, and now I think they're transitioning to be built around Kahn and Miller.
Yeah.
And unless you are getting a top 10, maybe top 15 player in the NBA, I don't think Brandon Miller's touchable. I don't think trading Brandon Miller for Jaylen Brown is going to be a move that benefits the Hornets all that much in the short or long term.
Yeah. No. So I like the option you threw out here tonight better. Sabonis. Again, Sabonis with Naz Reid, and then those three that you mentioned. That's a strong group. That's a strong group.
Where does that team? And obviously we're getting ahead of ourselves here, but so basically you swap out Miles Bridges and Diabate for Sabonis and Naz Reid, and obviously no LaMelo now. You're not taking him over the Knicks, of course.
No.
Probably not taking him over Boston. Where do you rank them in the East?
But Boston's going to lose. I mean, they're going to change. They're going to lose Jaylen Brown. You probably don't put him over Detroit. You probably don't put him over Cleveland.
So then it's Indiana, it's Miami with Giannis now.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's still probably top 6, right? Like, at best. You're still looking at first, second round. So, like, that's tough, because I think you could swallow giving up Diabate, but I'm with you. I don't think you can give up Brandon Miller. I don't think you can give up Brandon Miller here. So I don't think they're going to. I think that was probably like, that's who the Celtics would want. Yeah.
Of course. Like if Charlotte said, yes, we'll do Brandon Miller 1-for-1 with Jaylen Brown would be a Hornet tonight. Like,
yeah. Oh yeah.
I think so. But I think Charlotte is doing everything they can to hold him, because he was a second overall pick. He's a tremendously talented player and a cornerstone for their future.
Yeah. Any other NBA thoughts? I want to get a few other things here, some baseball and even some NFL stuff here before we move on. But any other NBA? I know we talked a lot last night. We can finish up tonight. Any final NBA thoughts?
The Lakers still haven't had any conversations with LeBron James. That's not interesting.
Any. No,
not any. Sure, that's nothing. Trying to think what else I'm seeing. I was messing around with like the trade machine stuff today and figuring out, like, I think the Spurs. Oh, how about this one? So Kawhi Leonard today. So the Clippers ideally want to hold on to Kawhi, and Kawhi would ideally like to stay in LA. But did you see the two teams where if he was traded, he would sign an extension with?
I did not see that. Wasn't Detroit interested in him?
I think Detroit was interested, but Detroit was not one of the teams that he would sign an extension with, nor was Miami. I think because everyone said if Miami doesn't get Giannis, then Kawhi was going to be their plan B.
Okay, so who would he? Where would he go?
The only two teams reportedly that he would sign an extension: the Toronto Raptors and the San Antonio Spurs.
Yeah,
his two old teams.
Because he's comfortable there.
Yeah, I guess so.
Knows.
It's like, if you're I want to stay here, but if you're going to trade me somewhere, at least go somewhere that like I know and I'm familiar with.
But that doesn't surprise us about what we know about Kawhi Leonard, right? Like, pretty reserved.
Oh, well, I guess Toronto was a little surprising because he was one and done there.
Yeah, but they're a different team. I mean, that's a different team.
I still to this day believe that he was the perfect fit for Toronto. He was there 1 year and they won a championship. Like, who knows what could have happened if he would have stayed there and grew. Like, thinking about the core that they had put together with him, like that was a good team that I think could have had maybe another finals appearance or two in them in the East, depending on. Yeah. I mean, it was a young Fred VanVleet. It was a young OG Anunoby. It was a young Pascal Siakam. Like, you get those three and Kawhi, Norm Powell off the bench. Like, that team, in an Eastern Conference that had like Miami winning it 2 of the next 5 years and Milwaukee 1 year. You're gonna tell me that like Toronto couldn't have won the East another one of those years? Like,
right. I'm with you.
Yeah.
No, yeah. And so it is a little surprising that after one and done, he'd go back there. But it just doesn't surprise me that he just seems like he wants to be comfortable. And I don't blame him, but yeah, interesting. All right, let's move on to Major League Baseball real quick because the phase 1 voting is complete. I had no idea this. So Ernie Clement, is he good?
Well, I think it's less about Ernie Clement being good and more about the absolute atrocity that is American League second baseman this year.
Yeah, and Toronto loves to vote.
Well, yeah, Toronto has just dominated. Like, it's a stunner that he's the top vote getter, but I think it's a combination of Toronto getting out a ton of votes and also every other non-Blue Jays fan looking at the ballot and being like, oh God, there really isn't anyone else to vote for besides him. Like he's legitimately, Rodney, he's the only good second baseman statistically this year. Like the only one that you would look at and be like, okay, I think he deserves an all-star nod.
Yeah. I'm gonna go down the list. So we have phase 1. So now we are, what is it, 2 at every position that you're voting for now. So do votes restart or are they? It's changed, right? Has this changed over the years how they're doing this? Because
so it's the top 2 phase 1 finishers at each position, and then July 4th is when they're announcing the conclusion of phase 2.
U.S. goal, by the way.
No. So once per 24-hour period, fans can vote for the All-Star Game starters they want to see by filling out the ballot. It starts noon Eastern on Monday and concludes on Thursday, July 2nd. So there's like a 3-day push here where you vote for one of the 2 guys.
And by the way, he was offsides. No goal. Anyways, okay, so let's go over this. In the American League, Shea Langeliers or Alejandro Kirk. Which one do you want? Who do you want there?
It's going to be Shea Langeliers.
First base, Vlad Jr. or Uncle Ben?
The fact that it's not Uncle Ben is an absolute disgrace. Vladimir Guerrero Jr., Rodney, has 4 home runs this year.
Yeah, and Ben Rice has 22.
Yeah. No, it should not even be close. But alas, we're not going to outvote Canada, apparently.
Yeah. Third base, Akamoto or Junior Caminero?
Akamoto's been pretty good, but I'm going to go Junior Caminero. He's amazing. He's a stud.
Shortstop, Bobby Witt, Andres Jimenez.
It's Bobby Witt Jr. Yeah.
Bobby Witt. Outfield, Aaron Judge, Mike Trout, Byron Buxton, Cody Bellinger, Dalton Varsho, Jesus Sanchez.
How is it the entire Blue Jays team? It's so ridiculous.
Turkey goal.
What?
Turkey 2-1. And the Turks are on fire. They are so excited in LA. Guys, this is a meaningless game. Anyways, Aaron Judge is out, not playing in the All-Star game, right?
And Mike Trout is out too.
Mike Trout's out. So Byron Buxton, Cody Bellinger, Dalton Varsho, Jesus Sanchez. One gets left out here. Who gets left out? It's gonna be
I'm assuming Sanchez, right? I don't know, probably Sanchez, I guess. I don't even know what their stats are here.
Yeah. Varsho missed time with left wrist inflammation. Ew. We're just gonna skip that one. Who cares? DH.
Yeah, I voted for what it's worth. I did Judge, Trout, and Bellinger when I voted for these during the thing. Yeah.
DH, Jordan or George Springer?
I mean, Jordan is flirting with a triple crown here. So okay, so let me ask you this: of all of the players, I think is Ernie Clement the only Blue Jay that we agreed should get in? Like they were like he deserves it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm. It's not egregious that Vlad Guerrero plays in the All-Star game, but Ben should be starting at first base.
Yeah, but like it is also egregious that he plays in the All-Star game because again, he has 4 home runs.
It's true. It's true. Yeah, you're right. National League catchers: Drake, Baldwin, or Will Smith?
Drake Baldwin. It's been awesome. Will Smith is also hurt. So
2020, yeah, Baldwin 2025 NL Rookie of the Year. First base, Freddie Freeman, Matt Olson.
I'm biased, so I'm gonna say Matt Olson.
Second base, Ozzie Albies, Bryson Stott.
I'm gonna say Ozzie Albies here. I think Ozzie Albies is probably getting the nod.
Third baseman, Max Muncy, Alec Boehm.
As much as I hate to admit it, Max Muncy's been the best third baseman in the NL this year. So
yeah. Shortstop, C.J. Abrams, Mookie Betts.
Disgraceful that Mookie Betts is one of the finalists. He's OPS is barely above 700. He's been terrible. Congrats on his 300th career home run, but C.J. Abrams runaway should be a runaway pick here.
They're showing Scottie Pippen at the World Cup, by the way. Not sure what he has anything to do with anything, but he's there. And Turkey might make it 3-0. Nope. All right, and then
I was watching the Netherlands game earlier. It was in Kansas City, and Patrick Mahomes was there.
I mean, that makes sense.
Well, he's a big Tunisia guy. So
okay,
yeah.
Outfield: Andy Pajes, Brandon Marsh, Ronald Acuna, Teoscar Hernandez, Juan Soto, Michael Harris.
Well, Acuna's unlikely to play. He has a hamstring strain. Then he's been out for the last few weeks with that. So he's not going to do it. Teoscar Hernandez is also hurt, has been hurt for a while. So I think by default, it's going to be Pajes, Marsh, and Harris. That's the pretty gross outfield.
That's what I feel like. I feel like there's
Can I admit something?
Yeah.
I'm ready to say that they should just pick the All-Stars and like the fans don't get a vote.
Yeah.
I'm ready. I feel good about that. I won't be offended as a baseball fan who does vote every year. I would not be offended if Major League Baseball is like, hey, you know what? We're just going to go ahead and announce this. Or like the coaches or take it out of our hands, because then we don't have a bunch of Blue Jays and a bunch of Dodgers and a bunch of undeserving players. Like the starters, like you look at what All-Star game lineups used to be like, and it's like it was the best players. And all the fans just knew to vote for the best players. And you didn't see 8 Blue Jays in there. But now, in the age of the internet, like it's so easy for them to just go and spam it. It's like we've lost the trust of the All-Star game. So I'm fine with us losing that right, or that privilege, I should say.
Yeah. I'm with you. I agree. I want the best players, and I don't feel like that list I just read to you were the best players.
Yeah. It's
next topic that I want to. Yeah. 1 month, just over 1 month until MLB trade deadline. Just last week, we kind of talked about buyers, sellers, or stayers. Scooble, is he going to go anywhere?
Yes.
Scooble will be traded in the next month or so.
Yeah, Tarek Skubal will not be a Detroit Tiger past the deadline. I put it in our group thread. No one responded. I gave you a destination to look out for Tarek Skubal.
If it's not the Dodgers, you're not right.
Well, no, the Dodgers are going to get him in free agency. No, it's going to be the Milwaukee Brewers who get Tarek Skubal.
Yeah. Who are now 20 games over 500 and 7 games up in the National League Central.
A la CC Sabathia, 18 years later, they get the CC deal, pitches like a Cy Young winner, gets them to the playoffs. The Brewers are looking, saying, how are we going to beat these Dodgers? How are we going to beat these Braves? We need an arm. Imagine Jacob Mizorowski and Tarek Skubal as your 1-2 going into the playoffs. Listen, Milwaukee, it's only for a couple months. Everyone knows it's a rental. It's going to be fine. You don't need to gut your farm system for it. Make it happen. Make it happen.
Let me throw you a few teams that will sell and give me a name that might get moved. Baltimore Orioles.
Light sellers.
Yeah, but who?
Yeah.
Who's
Something
going?
like Taylor Ward. Like Taylor Ward is on an expiring deal. Makes sense. I'm sure they have a couple other guys in there. I'm not familiar with their contract situations right now, but I that's the first name that came to mind for me.
Boston Red Sox.
Ugh.
Sonny Gray.
Sonny Gray makes sense. Yeah. God, they probably missed the boat on Jared Duran, who's been terrible for like 2 years now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kansas City Royals.
I don't know if they sell.
I mean, they're 8.5 games out.
Yeah, no, they're not good. But I mean, I'm like all these teams have some vets, have bullpen guys that I'm sure are expendable. Like I don't think we're going to see like Bobby Witt Jr. get traded if that's what you're hoping for.
What if they called up Salvador Perez and was like, "Hey,
well, here's the problem. The problem with that is that he's been pretty poor this year, so I don't know what his value is. Like he's not hitting 50 home runs again. It's been pretty bad. He was just dropped in one of my fantasy leagues. So
I got you. Angels.
Oh, they're going to do nothing because they never do anything. They never. Yeah. They should sell. They should blow everything up, but they won't.
Who's going to be traded from the New York Mets?
Well, we saw David Peterson get dealt yesterday to the Cubs. I think that was a good move for the Mets. Oh God, where do we begin with them? I don't know. You know what I wouldn't be surprised about actually? I wouldn't be surprised if Luke Weaver gets traded after signing his deal, specifically back to the Yankees. Like,
you want that too. You like Luke Weaver.
Oh God, I would love that. I love Luke Weaver so much. Granted, he was awful for like the last 6 weeks of last year and was totally unplayable in the postseason, but no, I love him. So he's having a good year for them.
What we're getting to right now is going to be a boring MLB trade deadline.
Yeah, I think besides Scooble, there isn't really a ton out there unless there are names that we're just forgetting or not thinking about. But I don't think we're going to see a ton of real impact players.
Cincinnati Reds.
I think they can make some moves. Like Eugenio Suarez could be a guy. Spencer Steer could be a guy. Yeah, I see that.
They're 12.5 games out.
Yeah, but how far? 5.5 in the wild card. I mean, yeah, they lost 3 in a row. Yeah, they've been pretty disappointing. So I don't think they're going to be competing.
San Francisco Giants.
I was just going to say, Ronnie, I think now in hindsight, I think that's the most interesting team. If there's a team that can make this trade deadline memorable, it's the Giants. This year has been about as bad as it possibly could have been. All of their big contracts are, on the table. So you have Willy Adames, you have Matt Chapman, you have Luis Arias. Do you have Rafael Devers in the mix? Like they have a lot of money poured into a few guys who just aren't performing well, and I think they're just ready for a clean break from a lot of them. So that is probably the team. I don't think it's going to be Devers, but like Willy Adames, I could for sure see getting moved somewhere.
So hiring a college coach didn't work out.
Yeah, trusting your entire front office to Buster Posey, who had no management experience or leadership role whatsoever, and then hiring a college manager. Like, talk about a galaxy brain franchise that is just totally whiffed on everything.
Yeah, not great. That has not gone well for them. So, anyways, we'll talk more MLB trade deadline as we get moving. I wanted to do this real quick. We're going to turn our attention roughly 7 to 10 minutes worth of NFL talk. Okay, I'm going to throw you the 3 big NFL future odds, and I want you to tell me your gut instinct on who wins these awards. There's 3.
Okay.
We're gonna do 3 of them tonight. It's just 3 futures. I gotta find them again. There they are. MVP, Offensive Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year. I'll give you the top 8 odds for each of these awards, and you just give me your gut thought on this. All right.
Okay.
Josh Allen plus 550. This is MVP. Josh Allen
MVP.
plus 550. What's that?
Yeah. No, I'm listening.
Lamar plus 650. Mahomes 10-1. Herbert 10-1. Burrow 10-1. May 11-1. Dak 13-1. Stafford and Caleb Williams 14-1. Jordan Love 15-1. There's 10 guys.
Yeah.
First thing that jumps out to you for the MVP in 2027, 2026, 27.
Well, the first thing that jumps out to me is that, so where'd you get those odds? Because I'm on DraftKings right now. And so I think you have Justin Herbert at 10-1. Where,
Yeah, I'm a DraftKings.
okay, because I'm looking right now, and maybe this is different for me because I'm part of the trade thing, or what is it called? I'm not the sports book, but whatever it's called,
right.
the predictor market. Justin Herbert is the favorite in the predictors market.
Not on DraftKings. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, he's favored in the predictors market, and then you have May, Burrow, and Allen all tied for second.
May, Burrow, and Allen. Okay. All right. So what jumps out of you, those top 10? But Herbert being favored, being liked.
Well, okay, so let's look at Justin Herbert. It's a season that, I think the Chargers are once again going to be really good. They just got an offensive coordinator in Mike McDaniel who is really, really good for quarterbacks. Like, look what he did with Tua when Tua was healthy. Look what he's done in San Francisco before that, and now he gets to go to LA. Like, I could absolutely see Justin Herbert just exploding this year if things break right. The offensive line last year was, they had both tackles out long term with injury. Rashawn Slater and Joe Alt, if they're bookending that line, like, they're going to be really good. So Justin Herbert for sure stands out. And honestly, that might be where I'm leaning right now initially. And then if that's not enough, then probably Josh Allen would be my second pick, which, he's Josh Allen. Makes sense.
He's Josh Allen. He's pretty good. Josh Allen's pretty good at football. All right. So Offensive Player of the Year then. Let me give you the top list here. Jamar Gibbs leads the way at 750. Bijan 8-1. Jamar Chase 8.5 or 9.5. Excuse me. Puka 11-1. McCaffrey 11-1. JSN 13-1. Jefferson 14-1. Saquon 16. Lamb 17. JT and James Cook 18-1. What jumps out to you there?
Well, Saquon is as high as he is, kind of stands out. I'm not surprised that Jahmyr Gibbs is the favorite with no David Montgomery there now. I mean, it's going to be Jahmyr Gibbs city all the way. I think he's the deserving favorite for sure. I'm surprised Justin Jefferson is getting so much love just with the uncertainty at their quarterback situation in Minnesota. Where's your lean here? Like what name stands out to you?
I mean, Gibbs is a great choice. You mentioned it. I think we are still, and I know you've been really good, but I think we're still due for an absolute explosion from Bijan. And maybe I'm his Huckleberry or whatever we want to call that, but because I've been really high on Bijan, and don't get me wrong, like Bijan by no means has been a bust. Like Bijan's really good, but like I think we're in for an explosion at some point, and I think this could be the year. 8-1, I kind of like those odds. You see CMC. I think. I mean, it's hard to predict injuries, but I think he's going to sit. He's probably going to sit a little bit more than he has been because we have seen some of those injuries. JSN was obviously really good last year with it. Can we do it again? I don't know. I think there'll be a little digression there. I'm probably going Bijan or Gibbs at 7.5 or 8-1. One of the two running backs.
It's kind of where I'm at with you too. I think that those two guys are a clear step above everyone else.
Yeah. All right, one more. Defensive Player of the Year. Your favorite is Myles Garrett at plus 450. Will Anderson Jr. at 750. Max Crosby, which, by the way, Tim, I haven't told you or any of the other nerds, I'm interviewing Max Crosby Monday.
Is that right?
Yeah, for a project I'm doing, I'm interviewing Max Crosby. You remember the Derrick Henry interview from Super Bowl time. Max Crosby will be on the FaceTime on Monday next week.
So I remember the Derrick Henry thing. You were explicitly told not to talk to him at all about like John Harbaugh, like any of the coaching stuff. Are you allowed to ask Max Crosby, hey, so how was it being a Baltimore Raven for like a week?
Yeah, no, I don't think that's going to be part of the approved questions. They want to, and surprise, surprise, they want to talk about his health, nutrition, and strength training.
I knew there was an angle. Max Crosby's a scary dude.
Yeah, I know.
That's a scary man who good luck to you. That's exciting. That's awesome.
I'll send that
Max
across,
with 2 X's.
Yeah. Max Crosby's 8-1. Aiden Hutchinson's 8-1. Nick Bosa's 13. Nick Benito's 14. Jared Verse is 14. And TJ Watt and Brian Burns are 18-1. Because I'm interviewing him on Monday, I'm taking Max Crosby at 8-1.
Yeah. Yep.
Will Max Crosby will he be with the Raiders?
Yeah, I think so. I think at this point, yes.
If he got traded, where would he go?
I don't know, probably like the Eagles, because that's just
weren't the Bears trying to get after him?
I thought the Bears were definitely looking for pass rushers.
Yeah.
Max Crosby, an August deal to the Bears would be my nightmare.
Yeah, not great. Not great. Anyways, okay, thanks for doing that exercise. I wanted to tease a little NFL season coming soon. We'll dive in a little bit of NFL every show or so here.
I can tell you this. I can guarantee this. Terry and Arnold not going to win Depoy.
Not going to win. Nope. Hate to see it.
Maybe in the prison
Not a great
league.
situation. Yeah, not a great situation. All right, it's time for the Stupidest World Cup update. United States is getting ready to go into the locker room at halftime, down 2-1, and Paraguay and Australia are 0-0. The Paraguay-Australia game is the one that matters because the team with the win, the win goes on. I don't know what happens if they tie 0-0.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Goal differential, but who knows? Anyways, other than that, we talked about how it's rigged for the United States. We do have some matchups. Brazil's playing Japan in the first round. That seems like a decent matchup, right?
Yeah, that's going to be a great matchup. Yeah, that was like the big reason why the Netherlands game mattered so much is because, they were either going to face Brazil or Morocco in the knockout stage. Rodney, I'd rather play Morocco than Brazil. That's just me.
Yeah.
So that was huge there. But yeah, Japan, Brazil, and there were actually a couple soccer people like before the World Cup that said if it's Japan against Brazil in the knockout round, kind of one of those if you want to be really bold, because Japan's gonna be a big underdog in that match. There's no ties. Someone's got to win. I'm saying like kind of a hey, keep your eye on it type of match.
Other matchups that are set. U.S. is playing Bosnia. We knew that. That'll be in Santa Clara on July 1st. South Africa will take on Canada in Inglewood on the 28th of June. Netherlands takes on Morocco and Mexico. Those are the only set matchups as of now. We'll start getting more as we go, but the bracket starts on June 29th, which is next week on Monday. Yeah. Monday. Yeah. June 29th. No, there's a June 28th game. South Africa and Canada. South Africa and Canada on Sunday. Love it. All right.
Yes.
So that is your Stupidest World Cup update. I got one more thing I got to get to. Here's your stupidest Travelers Championship update. Did you know? First of all, did you know it was Travelers Weekend? Did you know that? Yes
I
or no?
did not. I know that there was a golf tournament because it's Thursday. And I'm looking at the leaderboard right now, and it's appalling.
Well, question 2, do you know where the Travelers Championship is held, or have you looked?
Yes. It's in Connecticut.
Yep. And then question 3 is, did you know that the Travelers Championship was a no-cut event?
I did not. I think the Travelers is one of the like PGA, I don't know what the name of it is, but it's like one of the events that is like has the big names in it and like it's one of like the larger purses and stuff.
Yeah, I mean it's got most of the top PGA Tour names in it. Scotty Scheffler's now in second place at 6 under. He started a little slow, but he's right there near the top now. It's got 72 names, 72 players.
Okay, that makes sense then. No cut.
Yeah, no cut. Matthew Fitzpatrick was good. Justin Rose was good. Victor Hovland. My boy Brandt Snedeker was 5 under. I played him at 2% ownership, by the way.
I have not thought about Brandt Snedeker since probably 2019.
Yeah, Sneds.
He's playing. He's still on the tour. That's amazing.
Yeah. All right, let's get to our best bets for betting. As a reminder,
I like that really was the stupidest update because I don't think you once said who actually is leading the tournament.
Yeah, somebody Cole. Eric Cole.
Eric Cole. He shot a 63 today, a 7 under.
But 7 guys are 1 stroke back. 6 guys are 1 stroke back.
Yeah, with one of those guys being Scotty Scheffler. So
yeah, and another guy being Nicholas Hechavarria.
Oh yeah, of course. Nico, I think it's just Nico Echevarria.
Yeah. yeah, Nico. I am 88 and 97. You are 92 and 93 as we move on to the best bets for betting. That's not good. Here we go. Time for 5-0. Pirates with Paul Skeens. I know his record has been not good. They've lost like 6 straight starts that he started. He's 6-7. He's taking on Andrew Abbott, but I think the Pirates beat up on the Reds tomorrow in Pittsburgh. I'll take the Milwaukee Brewers, who are going to play the red-hot Chicago Cubs. Cubs swept the Mets. Imagine that. Cubs have won 4 in a row. And 5 in a row, excuse me. But it is Jacob Mizorowski tomorrow. I will take the Brewers minus 1.5 over the Cubs. Max Meyer pitches in St. Louis tomorrow. Max Meyer's 8-0 on the season. Taking on Michael McGreevy, who's 3-6, but I'll take the Cardinals. Cardinals have a day off had a day off because of rain out today. They'll be well rested and they'll beat the Marlins tomorrow. Cardinals beat the Marlins, yes. And then I will go to Egypt in the World Cup. So it is Egypt against Iran. Iran just too much traveling. Sorry, Iran. I'm going to take Egypt at plus 155 in that one. And then in the WNBA, there are 3 games, and I know you are excited about all 3 in the WNBA. By the way, Marina Mabrey of the Toronto Tempo scored 53 points tonight. Congratulations to Marina Mabrey on scoring 53 points.
How many points? 53?
53.
What is the record? What is the record for most points in a WNBA game?
That's a great question. I will look it up when you're doing your best bets for betting. But my final pick is the Mystics on the road at the Sun. Sun are no good. I'll take the Mystics minus 4.5. You take yours, and I will look it up.
All right, good. All right. As Rodney mentioned, I am 4 games ahead right now. Had a bad week last week, but we're going to bounce back, and we're going to start in baseball. The Astros, led by Spencer Arrighetti, are a small underdog in Detroit against the Tigers. Astros have been playing a little bit better baseball as of late. They're just a game and a half back now in the AL West. So I'm going to say that they keep rolling here, and they're going to get another one at Detroit. Rays are facing the Arizona Diamondbacks at home. Zach Gallen. By the way, Rodney, I don't know if you know Zach Gallen. Remember, he used to be good. Now he's terrible. He's got a 6.1 ERA. And he's now going to go to face a Tampa Bay team that does nothing except hit the ball all over the field and be real pesky. Meanwhile, Tampa Bay is going to counter with Nick Martinez, who's been tremendous for them. So I'm going to take the Rays here to win outright against Arizona at home. I am going against you on this Marlins-Cardinals game. There's probably been no team in the month of June that's been hotter than the Miami Marlins. 42-39 now. They are 7-3 in their last 10. They, I believe, as far as the wild card race goes, are now just a game and a half back of a playoff spot. So the Marlins have been playing some really good baseball. And Max Meyer, as you mentioned, a perfect 8-0 on the year. So I'm going to take the Fish on the road. Plus, Cardinals are all thrown off. Were they going to play today? Were they not? Game got postponed. It was a whole thing. They're all out of whack. Next, Dodgers Padres. I like these games in San Diego to be a little bit lower scoring, and every run really matters. It's going to be Walker Buehler facing his former team, Roki Sasaki for the Dodgers. I'm going to say under 7.5 runs in a pitcher's park. And then finally, my One World Cup bets. This is probably the best game of the day. France is 2-0. Norway is 2-0. The winner will be the group champion. It would be quite the upset if Norway and Erling Haaland, arguably the best goal scorer in the world, was able to pull this off. But France is France. They're still great. And I'm going to give them the edge. I think they squeak out a close one against Norway. I don't think this game ends in a tie. I think there's too much goal scoring, and I'm going to take France to win outright tomorrow.
So it's crazy you ask about Marina Mabrey and how many points is the record in the WNBA, because she tied the record. There's now 3 people that have scored 53 points in their career, and that is the highest in the WNBA. Marina Mabrey did it tonight for the Toronto Tempo. I know you know this name. Aja Wilson scored 53 for the Aces back in 2023. But you probably have not heard of Dallas Wings player Liz Cambridge, who scored 53 in 2018. Nope. 2018.
So hold on a second. You've inadvertently mentioned something quite interesting, Rodney. Aja Wilson. So Aja Wilson is tied for the most points in a WNBA game ever.
Yes.
Her husband, I think they're married now, Bam Adebayo, who scored 83 points, the second most ever in an NBA game. So you have a couple who has scored the most in a WNBA game and the second most in an NBA game.
So would it be interesting to say, boy, they sure score a lot in that house?
Let's remember someone.
You're not going there. All right, let's remember.
No, I'll go there. I'll go there if the joke is better. It was not a good joke.
Yeah, that wasn't good. Do you remember Charles Oakley?
I do remember Charles Oakley, and we got to hear a lot about Charles Oakley during this Knicks title run for basically all the games that he wasn't at MSG because he's not allowed at MSG.
Yeah, that's wild too. But Charles Oakley had a long career, actually spanned 19 seasons in the WNBA or in the NBA. He was a first-round draft pick in 1985. I remember him most for his time with the New York Knicks, but he also played for the Bulls, the Raptors, the Wizards, and the Rockets. He was an assistant coach for a season with the Charlotte Bobcats. Can you tell us why he's not allowed in the Garden?
It's something to do with just a petty, like, James Dolan thing where maybe Oakley was, like, criticizing the team or whatever. I don't know. There was some sort of, like, dispute and beef between Dolan and Oakley, and it all led to Oakley being taken out of the game by security. Like, security dragged him out of the arena. Like, he was in his seats, and they just, like, removed him, and we've never seen him there since.
Yeah. There was talk that he hit the security guard that night. So obviously if he did that, that's certainly not great. He says he did not put his hands on anyone. This was all the way back in 2017, Charles Oakley incident at Madison Square Garden. So it's unfortunate for him. Now, Charles Oakley did score over 12,000 points in the NBA, 12,000 rebounds in the NBA, and over 3,200 assists. The dude put up pretty good numbers
Well, you said that. It's funny because I'm looking at his career numbers now. Over the course of his 19-year career, 12,000 points, 12,000 rebounds, very impressive. But he never averaged more than 14 and a half points a game.
Yeah.
He never averaged more than 9.5 assists. In fact, he only hit rebounds, 9.5 rebounds. He only had more than 9 rebounds once. Career high in points was like 14.6 with the Knicks in 1990. His career average was 9.7 points a game.
Yeah. But his span from 86 to 94 was pretty solid. Didn't miss a lot of games. He played 6 seasons that he didn't miss a game. He had 5 straight double-doubles, average double-doubles. And so, yes, was he an elite scorer? No. Was he an elite rebounder? No, probably not. But, if you're averaging double-double for 5 straight years, that's pretty good.
Yeah, and twice he was named to the all-defensive team. He was a depoy, a depoy contender for a couple of those years in New York. So, I think I was surprised if you would have asked me what Charles Oakley averaged for his career, I would have said, I don't know, maybe like 15, 16 points a game. I wouldn't have guessed under 10.
Yeah. 144 playoff games in his career. Averaged 10.8 points a game in the postseason. So Charles Oakley, a member of the Knicks, was the Bulls, the Raptors, the Wizards, the Rockets. 1985 draft. Before we get off here, I'm going to quiz you real quick on the 1985 draft. You do know who was drafted first, correct?
85?
Yeah.
85, I think, would have been Patrick Ewing.
That's correct. Wayman Tisdale, Benoit Benjamin, Xavier McDaniel, and John Konchak, yes. That was also the same draft with Chris Mullin, Detlef Schrempf, and your boy, because it's your boy now, Karl Malone.
I don't like Karl Malone being my boy, if I'm being honest.
No, he's not really a model citizen either, I don't think.
I don't want to associate with Karl Malone, if that's all right.
No, that's all right. You just don't want him to lose his spot as the greatest Jazz player ever, because then I would be right.
It would be the most miraculous take that that has ever come true.
So here's the wild part about this. We can re-discuss this, but I'm going to be 60 years old when we do that.
Mm-hmm. And I'm going to find you when we're 60 years old.
And
I'm going to rub it in your old, dumb, wrinkly face.
But just think about that. Just think about that. Darren Peterson's career could.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. You're not just assuming that Darren Peterson is going to be an all-time great player. The reason that it's so egregious, too, is you're assuming that Darren Peterson is going to be a Utah Jazz lifer.
Yeah, that's a problem, too.
If he's going to be the greatest member of the Utah Jazz for all time, he's going to be a member of Utah for like a minimum 15 years.
Yeah, that's a problem.
That's a huge problem. That's a huge assumption. You have to have that guy falling in love with Utah falling in love with him, and him deciding there's no place I would rather be as a professional in my 20s than Salt Lake City. That's what you're banking on.
Yeah, that's probably my biggest. I'll take that if that's my biggest issue with this hot take. Not the fact that he has to be better than Karl Malone and a top 30 player all time. I'll take the fact that he may not stay in Salt Lake. Thank you for talking me off the ledge there. Now I can go back on it because NBA players don't stay in one spot. So yeah, he's going to get traded. That's unfortunate.
Is it like what's likelier? What's more likely? Darren Peterson being a top 30 player in the history of the NBA and one of the all-time greats, or him playing in Utah for his entire career?
Oof. I mean, I say he's going to be a top 30 player because I think he's going to be the greatest Jazz ever. So I'm going to it. I'm doubling and tripling and quadrupling down. Let's go ahead and get out of here for tonight. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter, not X, Stupid Sports Show on Twitter. My Substack's still going on, still going strong, still winning. I'm ahead for the month. I'm ahead for the year. The code's up there. Make sure you get signed up. One more announcement. We are off on Tuesday next week. Tuesday, June 30th.
9th.
30th.
June 30th.
We'll be back on Thursday, July 2nd. I'm going to take a couple personal days in the middle of the month, but trust us, when we take these days off, we are recharging the batteries for the football season.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're doing.
Rodney, a couple interesting hockey nuggets before we get out of here involving your St. Louis Blues.
I'm ready.
Sources, this is from Jeff Merrick, who is one of the hockey insiders. Sources indicating the St. Louis Blues offered a package to the Dallas Stars that included multiple first-round picks for Jason Robertson. However, Jason Robertson is not interested in signing there.
Weird.
So, and now the reports are the Blues are talking to my Anaheim Ducks about potentially acquiring Mason McTavish. Blues have 4 first-round picks tomorrow, and I would be stunned if they made all 4 of them. They can make some moves. They can get some good players.
Yeah. So who will they get?
Well, I mean, McTavish. It seems like it's them or the Rangers for McTavish. That's the name that's out there right now. But if that doesn't happen, then I really don't know. But yeah, this Jason Robertson guy with Dallas, like. Did you see Seattle reportedly offered Dallas their 7th overall pick for the rights to sign Jason Robertson, and then they offered Robertson an 8-year, $15 million deal, 15 per year, 8 years, $15 million a year, and Robertson said, "No, thank you, no good."
He wants to stay in Dallas.
Oh, it sounds like it's Dallas or like a team that's ready to contend, and that's probably why the Blues were no, because they're just not quite ready. So it sounds like it's send me Dallas or send me to a team that like I can win a cup with right away. But like 8 years, $15 million a year, $15 million a year is freaking wild. And he's like, nah, I'm good.
I'm good. I'll stay in Dallas.
I don't want.
All right, let's get out of here. Send us out of here, Tim.
Sounds good. Yep. Thanks for putting together the show, Rodney. Thanks to all 246 people who lent their eyeballs to the program tonight. We'll be back a week from today, Thursday night. Talk some World Cup. We'll have a whole at that point, it'll be after Rodney. It's going to be after NBA and NHL free agency open up. We're going to have a freak ton of moves to discuss. Yeah. So it's going to be a lot. So I'm very excited about it. So we'll see you next Thursday. He's Rodney Newpol. I'm Tim, the Gunslinger Van Stratton, and this has been another edition of the Stupidest Sports Show on Earth. See you guys.
See ya.
Step right up, dummies, and listen to the Stupidest Sports Show on Earth with Rodney Newpol and Tim Van Stratton. Yeah.